Hey friends, and welcome to this brand new video. Today we're back talking about Poppy Playtime Chapter 5. Because there are some very interesting updates. And most importantly because we're getting closer and closer to one of the most anticipated moments ever. The release of the next official trailer. A few days ago, we finally saw the new cinematic trailer dedicated to the prototype. A trailer that confirmed many theories, while at the same time opening up even more questions. We now know for sure that the prototype will be the main antagonist of this chapter, but at the moment one crucial piece is still missing, the gameplay trailer, which is the final trailer. And as we know very well, the gameplay trailer of Poppy Playtime is always important. It's the moment when we see the first real gameplay scenes, understand the mechanics better, feel the atmosphere, but most importantly, it's usually the trailer where the face of the main mascot is revealed. We'll try to understand when this final trailer could be released, by analyzing clues, timing, and patterns already used in the past by Mob Entertainment. But not only that, we'll also talk about what secrets it might hide, because these trailers are often full of details that are easy to miss at first glance. We'll also discuss a very important topic that is causing a lot of debate in the community. Even though the prototype has been confirmed as the main antagonist, this does not automatically mean it will also be the main mascot of Chapter 5. And in fact, there is a very real possibility that the final mascot could be another character. So today we'll analyze the possible main mascots, the most interesting theories, and which characters could be revealed right in the gameplay trailer. Before we begin though, as always, I ask you something very simple but extremely important. If you enjoy the video, leave a like, because it helps the channel a lot, and if you're not subscribed yet, subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any news, theories, or updates about Poppy Playtime. With that said, I think we can finally start. First of all, let's talk about the possible final mascot of Poppy Playtime Chapter 5. If we look at the previous chapters, we can notice a very clear pattern. Every final trailer, meaning the gameplay trailer, has always ended with the reveal of the face of the main mascot. We saw this in Chapter 2 with the reveal of Mommy Longlegs, in Chapter 3 with Catnap, and in Chapter 4 with Doughy the Doveman. In all of these cases, the main mascot was shown openly only in the final trailer, never before. On the other hand, cinematic trailers have always had a different role. These trailers are meant to build atmosphere, lore, and tension, but they have never revealed the main mascot completely. And this time, the pattern seems to have been respected once again. The latest trailer that was released is in fact a cinematic trailer focused on the prototype, but at no point is its face clearly shown. This detail is extremely important, because it leads us to make a fundamental distinction that is often misunderstood. The difference between the main mascot and the main antagonist. These two things are not always the same. A perfect example of this is Chapter 4. In that chapter, the main antagonist was always Dr. Sawyer, the true antagonist behind the events. However, the main mascot of the chapter was not him, but Doughy the Doveman. Doughy was presented as a friendly character, and for most of the game he was on our side. Only in the finale does Doughy become an antagonist. But this does not change the fact that throughout the entire chapter he was the main mascot, the symbolic face of the game. This clearly shows that the main antagonist and the main mascot can be two different characters, with very different narrative roles. So even though the prototype has now been confirmed as the main antagonist, this does not automatically mean that it will also be the main mascot. In fact, looking at past patterns, it is very likely that the main mascot will be another character, one that has not yet been officially revealed. This character could be someone we initially meet as an ally, someone who guides us, helps us, or talks to us during the adventure. Or it could be a completely new figure, introduced precisely in the final gameplay trailer, just like what happened in previous chapters. So the most plausible scenario right now is this. The prototype will remain our main antagonist, the mind behind the horror of Chapter 5, while the main mascot will be another character, still hidden, who will finally be revealed in the final trailer. The next trailer will be so important because it could show us for the very first time the true symbolic face of Poppy Playtime, Chapter 5. Now, let's talk about when the final trailer of Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 might be released. As we already know, the release date of the new chapter has been officially announced. The 18th of February will be the day when we can finally play Chapter 5 and discover all the secrets of this new chapter. But, as always, the final trailer the gameplay trailer that will show us real in-game scenes, and, most importantly, the long-awaited face of the main mascot, remains a mystery. Even if we don't have an official date for the trailer yet, we can try to make some predictions based on the patterns Mob Entertainment has followed in previous chapters. And here comes a theory we already discussed a few days ago. Mob Entertainment seems to release the main trailers at intervals of about 5 weeks. This pattern has repeated several times, both for cinematic trailers and gameplay trailers, so we can use it as a basis to make some calculations. If we apply this logic, the gameplay trailer for Chapter 5 could also be released about 5 weeks after the last published trailer, that is, the cinematic trailer dedicated to the prototype. Considering the dates and doing the math, this leads us to 2 possible days, February 13th or 14th. But pay attention to this detail. February 13th is exactly 5 days before the game's release, and the number 5 is not random, because we are talking about the 5th chapter of the series. So, it would not be surprising at all if Mob Entertainment decided to release the final trailer on February 13th to create a perfect 5-day countdown until the game's release. A small numerical detail that aligns perfectly with the chapter's symbolism and would be a stroke of genius from a marketing and suspense point of view. Of course, even if the trailer does not come out on February 13th, it is very likely that it will be released on a day very close, a few days before or a few days after. This is because Mob Entertainment tends to keep the suspense high until the very last moment, never revealing the gameplay trailers too early, to have the maximum impact when they finally publish them. In short, we can say that the countdown to the final trailer has already begun, and every passing day brings us closer and closer to the reveal of the main mascot and the first gameplay scenes of Chapter 5. Staying updated in these days will therefore be essential to not miss a single detail of what promises to be one of the most anticipated chapters of the series. So what will happen during the wait for the final trailer of Poppy Playtime Chapter 5? Even if the actual trailer hasn't been released yet, this month could still give us new material from Mob Entertainment. For example, there could be new screenshots, new teasers, or official messages that give us small hints about the secrets of the chapter. It's important to keep our eyes wide open, because we know very well that Mob Entertainment always publishes surprises without any warning. This means that any day could bring something new, an image, a hidden detail, or even just a small update that helps us understand more about the main mascot or the prototype. Also, this waiting period is perfect to analyze the details already released, to make theories, discover hidden Easter eggs in the previous trailers, and get ready for the moment when we finally see the full gameplay trailer. Everything that comes from now until February 13 or 14 could give us precious hints about who the main mascot will be, how the prototype will behave, and what surprises await us in Chapter 5. With that said, I want to thank you so much for getting all the way to the end. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, because it helps the channel a lot. And if you haven't done it yet, subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any news, theories, or updates about Poppy Playtime. Bye bye.